Well, hello everyone. I think we have one person watching, maybe more. Just wanted to throw a live stream up today as I am doing a few things off camera to kind of prep for the next episode here on Pine Cove Farm. So I hope you all are having a wonderful Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, I guess, depending on where you are in the world. I hope you're having a wonderful time, a wonderful day. Happy April Fool's Day to you all. Hello, Matthew, Doughboy. I'm good. Happy April Fool's Day to you. This is not an April Fool's joke. I am going to do some grass work, so I didn't mistype that. I'm just letting the mower get ahead of us a little bit. And we're going to come along and do some tethering here, but I figured I would haul a load of TMR over to our dairy cows, give the girls something to eat this morning. And as I find myself, this is the first day of autumn, and I have nothing ready to harvest yet, so I recorded an episode this morning of doing some odds and ends around the farm, but looks like we're not going to be able to harvest anything until autumn day number 2, which is just a tad bit unfortunate because I was ready to harvest this morning. I wanted to bring out the harvesters and get some wheat and some barley harvested because I need some straw in the worst kind of way. And so good morning, everyone. If you're new to my stream, welcome. And if you are not new to my stream, then welcome back. And I do things a little different in my live streams. I live stream just more or less to kind of hang out and talk to you all. So if you have questions, if you have comments or whatever, just post them in the channel, because this is kind of why I do this. I find it sort of relaxing to have you guys hang along with me while I'm doing some of this off-camera stuff, because there's a lot of work that has to be done, and if I don't want to cover every single task in a episode, then obviously I have to do a lot of off-camera stuff. And so but basically, because it's got to be done. Now this tractor is just rocking way too much. I think some of these guys need to calm some of these actions down with some of these mods. And this is awfully heavy. Stuck at the dairy unloading milk. Well, yeah, today's kind of a good day for me to be playing Farm Sim because it is cold and kind of miserable outside. We were expecting 6 to 8 inches of snow last night, but thankfully we did not get that. We only got maybe, I don't know, a very light dusting on some elevated areas. It was mostly rain, which is what I was hoping for, because I would much rather have rain than have snow to deal with, because it ruins my trees. We had an early spring this year, and stuff began waking up much too early. And so all of my shrubs and fruit trees and stuff like that have leaves and stuff on them, and so this late season snow, like we typically get this time of year, is kind of thick. It's kind of the consistency of mashed potatoes, as best I can describe it. And so it basically will break your trees and your shrubs and everything down. And typically when it does do this early season stuff like this, or I should say late season stuff, I end up going outside a few times, setting an alarm for the middle of the night to get up and go out and shake trees and stuff like that. But thankfully I haven't had to do that. I will check and see what my schedule is, Matt, on the PCSG live stream. I may not be able to make it just because the mornings are a little easier for me to do my gaming hobby stuff, and then usually the honey-do list either kicks in or the wife will want to go out and and do things. She's been really kind of poorly the last few days, which kind of alluded to my comment one of the episodes this last week about some of the stressful stuff that's on my mind. We did get some good news, so it wasn't that dreaded C word that everyone kind of fears about hearing. So, but she's resting upstairs, and so hopefully she might feel like doing something tomorrow, because we're supposed to have some nice weather. Tomorrow's supposed to be in the 60s, I think, tomorrow. So hopefully all this rain and cold and stuff like that will get the heck out of Dodge for us. And so I had hoped that our mower guy would be farther along than what he appears to be. Okay, Matthew. Have a good day, drive safe and all that stuff. Don't work too hard. Alright, let's set our work with here. And we'll slide this over just a tad bit more. And we don't need an offset. And we can turn this thing on and go ahead and drop her down. Get our GPS locked in, and off we go. So I'm opting not to use the Corona Big M for this mowing job, just simply because I do want to turn all this into hay, and so obviously the Big M has an issue with leaving, if you want to do the wide spread versus the swath. And so I just sort of figured, well, I'll just buy these other two mowers and put those on the Challenger and let them do the mowing ahead of us, and we'll come along and rake part of this, or tether it first and then obviously rake it. We'll probably have Courseplay doing the raking, and then come along with a forage wagon and pick it up. Probably won't get any of that extra stuff done in this live stream. I've only got maybe about 45 minutes or so of available time to do the live stream. So if you're watching, welcome. And again, this is just kind of off-camera stuff, work that I typically do. And if time permits, and if my schedule permits, where I can throw a live stream together, then I usually do that, just so that folks can hang out, say hello. I can answer any questions that you might have. If you have questions, if you want to know about some of the mods I'm using and such, if you see a mod in my gameplay, then basically I have a mod spreadsheet that you can find by going to my website, grizzlybearsims.com, and click on the link at the top of the page for mod and add-on spreadsheet, and all of my mods are listed there. So I will say that it is my policy that I do not play with private mods. The only mod that I cannot tell you how to get that I am using is the Seasons mod. But everything else that I have that is on my maps that I use in my Let's Play series, or I use on my streams, are mods that are publicly available on any of the mod hosting websites, and I have links to all those on that spreadsheet. So this John Deere tractor is one of my newest additions to my mod spreadsheet. This is the 8R series that you've been seeing. Maybe if you watch Landy Kid, or if you watch Simulate, some of those guys, you'll probably have seen this John Deere series tractor, and it is listed on the mod spreadsheet. So if you're interested in pretty good, I mean, it's a pretty good version of a John Deere tractor, you know. Well, hello from Greece and Europe. Good afternoon. Well, good afternoon to you. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by the channel. You may know, if you are a John Deere fan, you may know that John Deere tractors, good quality John Deere tractors, are kind of hard to come by. There's a lot of John Deere equipment out there, but unfortunately it's not all good quality stuff. A lot of it has issues, bugs. Some of it is very bad on frame rates, creates a lot of lag in your gameplay, etc. This is not too bad. I've not really had much of a problem with this tractor. I've only used it a couple of times here in my Let's Play, but pretty good IC. It does have IC. Pretty good animation with the steering wheels, and the little computers, onboard computers and everything light up and all look very nice. And so if you are interested in a good John Deere tractor, this 8R series, there's also a 7R series as well, and it's also listed on the mod spreadsheet along with the 8R series. So I would say, if you guys like what you're seeing in the live stream, please hit the like button and also consider hitting the subscribe button. I appreciate that very, very much. I am relatively new to the YouTube farm sim scene, if you will. I started my channel up, well, my channel is much older than what I've been doing Let's Plays, but I started doing Let's Plays towards the tail end of the life of Farm Sim 15, and this was around the September-October time frame, and started doing Let's Plays on Stevie's Paradise Hills for Farm Sim 15. And then naturally, when Farm Sim 17 came out, I began playing Farm Sim 17 and really haven't looked back. I have not played Farm Sim 15 since the very day that Farm Sim 17 came available. I think I wrapped up my Paradise Hills series the day or two before 17 came out, and then 17 came out and I started up a series on Goldcrest Valley, and I haven't looked back. So very much looking forward to Cattle and Crops. I am a early access supporter, a crowdfunder of Cattle and Crops, so I'm looking forward to obviously getting our hands on that version of the game, and should be quite fun. Yeah, that is very, very sad about Stevie retiring. I found out about it on Wednesday or Thursday, read his Facebook post, and you know, he is one of the best and talented map modders that we have for the Farm Sim franchise. And his retirement, although I understand his reasonings for it, I support his reasonings for it, because as I've often said on some of my Let's Plays, you know, our life outside of our hobbies, oops, wrong button, our life outside of our hobbies must always come first. You know, our families, school, work, our religion, whatever the case might be, those things come first. Our hobbies come after that. And obviously Stevie has some health issues that he wants to address and deal with. I fully support that, and even though I think we're going to miss him, I don't think Stevie will be a stranger to the community. I think he'll continue to you know, help and be a part of the community. I know he is a member of PCSG, so if you guys that are watching, if you're not a member of PCSG, please consider signing up. You'll find the link in my description down below the video, and also sign up over at 3 Dudes Gaming Network as well. The link is in there as well. But Stevie is a member of PCSG, and his mods will continue to live on at PCSG. So if you follow Stevie on his Facebook page, you may know that his Google Drive will basically expire in about a month or so, and so obviously his mods will vanish once that occurs, because he pays to have that Google Drive account set up the way that it is, so the capacity and the speed and everything. But his mods are available, or most of them are available on PCSG, and more will be added. And PCSG has its own server, so you don't have to worry about screen pops or malware or any of that kind of nonsense that you kind of have to deal with some of these mod sites. So head over to PCSG and sign up for an account. It's all free, of course, and I think you won't regret it. But yeah, it is going to be sad because I was looking forward to, you know, many more creations that Stevie could come up with for Farm Sim 17, and even hoping that, you know, Stevie might venture over into the cattle and crops modding as well. And so who knows? I mean, you know, maybe Stevie's just going to take a break and he's going to focus on his health and everything and get stuff together, and you know, maybe we'll see him again. Hello, the kid named Chuck. Who's mods? Also, hi. Well, hi to you as well. Who's mods for what? The map or the tractor, or what? What do you want to know about? All of my mods are listed on my mod spreadsheet, and you can find my mod spreadsheet by going to grizzlybearsims.com. Again, that's grizzlybearsims.com. This John Deere tractor, this is the relatively new 8R series that Landy Kid and Simulate, some of those guys have been using on their maps, and so the link to this is on the mod spreadsheet. And there's also a 7R series. The map is Pine Cove Farm. This is not the latest and greatest version. This was the version of Pine Cove that was supposed to be the final version. Stevie released this and said, this is the final version of the map. And so I'm like, okay, well, now's a good time to start playing it, because I know that Stevie does like to make changes and everything to his stuff. And so, so I started playing it. And then I probably didn't have the first few seeds in the ground before I found out that he had updated it once again, or was in the process of updating it once again. But I just decided that the differences between this version and his latest and final version of this map just weren't enough for me to basically have to restart everything over again, so I chose not to do that. So I am playing on the final version that ended up not being the final version, and it's stable. It's still a good version to play, and so we're going to do this map this season, and then we'll be replacing Lawfolds as well as Pine Cove Farm with brand new maps at some point in the future. Well, thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a you know, the mod spreadsheet is something that I have tried very, very hard with 17. In 15 I kept it, and I tried to keep it current, but I wasn't always the best at adding mods. I would add a mod to the game and I would kind of forget about adding it to the spreadsheet. But when I really got serious about doing Let's Plays, I decided that, because one of the things that I find difficult is when you watch a YouTuber and you're watching his channel or her channel, mostly it's guys, I guess, that I watch, and you see a mod that they're playing with on screen on their Let's Plays or their live streams or whatever, and you're interested in that mod, and you know, if you message them and they're so busy that they don't get back to you, you know, or if they have a mod spreadsheet but they don't keep the mod spreadsheet up to date, then it's just a struggle. So I made a commitment that before I add a mod to the game, I add it to the spreadsheet, and I will put it down in testing if I haven't really used it much, and then as I use it, I will bring them up and put them under the categories that they belong in. And so I just made that commitment to make sure that I keep the spreadsheet current for all of you guys that watch, because I know how important it is when I'm looking for a mod, and if I see something and if it works well for someone else's channel, then I want to know where they got that mod from, and I will go out and find it and I update my spreadsheet. And that's the other reason why I don't play with private mods. Again, the Seasons mod is an exception to that, only because I honestly can't tell you where to get it, and I am helping the mod team with, you know, putting the information out about it, but unfortunately it is still somewhat of a private non-public mod. But that is the exception, the only exception. So that's the only mod that I'm playing with that isn't readily available for everyone to download and enjoy for yourself. Everything else should be on the spreadsheet. And yeah. So obviously we're progressing a little faster than our mower is, which just kind of happens. Well, welcome back, Matthew. Can't watch, but I can listen, and I have voice to text. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully we'll pass by here without bumping into each other. Yeah, that worked out all right. So handbrake mod is also great, updated with Disco's sound edition. Reallocate handbrake position, lower the battery. Yep. Yeah, that is a very easy change to do with Disco's video there. So I did a video about that. Hey, Rubber Burner. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I hit 500 sometime overnight. It was at $4.99. It was at $4.99 yesterday evening when I shut down my laptop and went to bed, and I guess overnight we got a couple of more subs. So yeah, broke the 500 barrier. The GPS sounds, Matthew, that should be on my mod spreadsheet. I think it's called Green Star or something. It'll be under the scripting section. It's near the top of the page for sure. So yeah, as I said at the top of the live stream, I opted to go with the other mower setup versus the Big M, just because I wanted to do a big swath on this field, and I sort of figured, well, I would just use the other mowers so that basically I could do that. And I think what I'm going to do is, because obviously we've caught up with this guy, I let him get a pretty good head start, but obviously his working width is not as wide as our working width, and so we managed to catch up to him, but that's not a problem. That's not a problem at all. So yeah, I was hoping that when I rolled into the first game day of fall that we would be basically ready to do some harvesting, but as you can see, if I pull up my view here, my chart, and scroll over here, and I use the colorblind mode just because it's a little easier for me to distinguish. We're still at growing on all these fields here, and these are catching up. So I don't know. I'm worried that the Seasons mod team released an updated version of the Seasons mod, and I applied it, and I'm wondering if that may be part of the problem. So I'm hoping that all these fields here come available to harvest the next game day. And if that's the case, obviously we've got 2 combines. We've got enough equipment to multitask through courseplay and some of the other stuff. So I'm sure we'll get it all done. But it wasn't the way that I wanted it to go. I was hoping that come the first day of fall today, I'd be able to actually put a harvester on the ground and start harvesting. Let's see. Okay, so it's not there. Well, let me take a look right quick. Let me go to my website on another screen here and pull up my mods directory. I could have sworn I put that on there because I know you asked me about it. I know you asked me about it. Yeah, it's there. It's there. It's line 22. Make sure you're looking at the Farm Sim 17 tab at the bottom, and it's GPS mod with John Deere Green Star sounds, and it's available from farming2015mods.com. So it's basically, as far as I know, Doughboy, as far as I know, it's not it's not the sounds are not just available. It's the version. It's the GPS mod itself. So. And it works fine. I mean, it works, and you may have to maintain two versions of it because obviously, if you play a Let's Play or if you play a multiplayer server that doesn't have that version installed, obviously it's not going to let you join because it thinks that it's out of date or it's different. So you'll need to maintain two mods. But yeah, it's there. It's listed as John Deere Green Star Sound. So. And guys that are watching the channel, check out both Matthew Doughboy2913 and Rubber Burner Gaming channels. Check out their YouTube channels. They do good stuff. And they're good friends of mine. So definitely check out their channels. And so I'm Rubber Burner. Have you? I'm a little bit behind on watching catching up on your videos. I was off work a couple of days this last week because my wife had some tests and stuff going on, and she was in the hospital and everything. But I was just curious if you've actually done the Good, the Bad, the Ugly on these new 8R and 7R series John Deere's. And if not, the links to these are on the mod spreadsheet, and they're pretty. I mean, they're pretty good. The sounds could be a little bit better, but they have IC, pretty good. Oops, unfortunately the IC is on. I need to change that shuttle control, but pretty good IC, pretty good animation on climbing into the tractor as well. Which is something completely different. I've never seen that before. Hey Farmer Klein, welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Doughboy, I think once you get to 100, the rest seems to go pretty quick. You might remember, because I know you've been watching my channel for a long time. You may remember that I hit 100 subs just right before the end of the year, and once you kind of hit 100 subs, the rest kind of goes quick, or at least it did for me. So I have gained, I guess, an additional 400 and some odd subs since the new year, and I don't know if that's fast or if that's slow. It really doesn't matter. You know, I don't necessarily do this just to collect subs. I do it for because I enjoy it, and I keep hitting the wrong button. I do it because I enjoy it, and I do it because I enjoy meeting new friends and such. But yeah, it does tend to go a little faster once you get maybe the first 100 under your belt. All right, well, since I took a bit of time off and looked up that mod for Doughboy, I've got our mower got ahead of us a little bit, so I will continue doing the tethering here. And just enjoy hanging out with folks. That's why I do my live streams. Again, it's you know, this stuff's got to get done for the storyline and everything on the Let's Plays, and if I've got to do it by myself, just sat here at my computer, it gets kind of boring. But at least with folks on the live stream stopping by and saying hi and asking some questions and stuff like that, it makes the time go by a little quicker. And obviously I currently haven't done much content on any other game other than Farm Sim on my channel, but you know, it's pretty difficult to live stream ATS or ETS2 and keep up with the chat and everything, because everything moves so much quicker. But yeah, that's why I do it. So if you're watching and if you're enjoying what you see, please hit the like button, hit the sub button if you would so be interested in doing that. It helps out a whole lot, and all that good stuff. All right, let's see. Hey Josh H, it's going well. It's going really well as I kind of drive off course there. Let me back up and get back on my course and get my GPS going. We'll get this dropped. and get back down. Course play. The mower tractor is being operated by Course Play. Oh, I hear you, Matt. Yeah, you get to 100, and you've got the easier YouTube address. That's well worth achieving 100 subs for that. It's kind of funny because I hit 100 subs, and YouTube was changing something about the custom URL, and it took like a month. I had hit 100, and it was like a month later before I could actually go in and set that up, because they were changing it, and they basically stopped allowing custom URLs until they converted everything over. And once they did, I was able to go out and get my custom URL set up, and everything was good. And yeah, that's much easier, and social media and stuff like that, and sharing the channel. It's a lot easier to do that with the custom URL. Courseplay is very stable, especially on this map. Well, it's pretty stable on Lawfolds as well. So I try to use Courseplay for as much as possible, just because it took a while before we got Courseplay for 17, and obviously I'm not fully reliant on it. I use it as and when necessary, and I sort of have a feeling that I'm going to use Courseplay quite a bit in the next few episodes once we can start harvesting, because we are in, as I just pull up my HUDs here, you can see that we're using the seasons mod, and we're in the first game day of autumn, and we don't have anything available to harvest just yet. And if I look at our weather forecast, we've got rain on the last game day of fall. So the problem with this is, and the task, and what I'm getting virtually stressed about, obviously I don't let, I'm not getting stressed in real life, but virtually stressed, is that depending on when that rain falls, if that rain falls early on that game day, it's probably going to prevent us from doing any harvesting. So we're going to lose everything as we go into winter, or could possibly lose everything as we go into winter. So obviously we're going to have to try to harvest as much as possible as soon as the fields are ready to be harvested, because otherwise we may run the risk of losing crops, and I don't want to do that if I can avoid it naturally, because that's the whole idea of doing this, is to harvest our crops and make money and all that good stuff. Plus we've got customers that depend on our grains and everything, and obviously we've got animals that need it as well. I need straw in a worse kind of way, and I was hoping to be able to get straw today. I may actually have to buy some hay, or some straw bales, just so that we can keep our bedding and everything going. And so let's see, Paul, or Parl 31U, good morning. Well, good morning to you as well. Farmer Klein says, did they recently put that limit in? I have a custom URL and didn't have any subs, but I set that up quite a while back. Yeah, I think they made a change some time ago where you had to get to 100 subs before they would allow you to set up your custom URL. UK Simmer 1, hello to you. Gaming LT, I don't know what you mean about please get CD key Steam games, so my guess is you're just spamming the channel. So have a good day, and take care. Not interested in any sort of CD key. We do everything on the up and up. And if I misunderstood you, I apologize. That's actually a could I please get some advice from you on this game? You bet. Ask your question, and if I can't answer it, I'm sure somebody else in the channel can. But yeah, ask your question. I'm happy to help give you as much advice as I know about. So Papa, should it be better to change in a 6-day for each season? Maybe not ideal for 3-day. You know, I struggled with that because obviously you can change it. You can go 3 days, 6 days, maybe 12 days, 6 days, 9 days, 12 days, I think. I thought about that, but I sort of thought that doing it with 6 days would just, or even 9 days as far as that goes, would make it be longer. I was playing before I started using the seasons mod, and if you go back to sort of the early days of Farm Sim 17 when I was doing Goldcrest Valley, Stevie's edit on Goldcrest Valley, I was using a growth manager and sort of a manual seasons process, and I had it set for 3 days and it worked out quite well. So there could be some advantages to it. I was just somewhat concerned that it would just be a bit too slow at going with 6 days, and I would end up, fast forwarding a lot, and so I opted to stick with 3. So we'll just have to, if it hurts us and we lose fields and everything as a result of it, especially if it rains early, then obviously that will just be something that we'll just have to deal with. Okay, so UK Simmer 1 says another YouTuber has played this game and deleted all his vehicles, fields, crops, and money and started with nothing. How do you edit the XML to do that? One thing that you could do, and obviously this applies to a PC gamer, obviously you can't really edit anything on console, but if you're a PC gamer, let me just actually slow up right here, and I just need to hit the escape key so I can move my mouse around, and let me bring up a folder here and I will show you this. So my apologies to those of you that have been watching me tedder the grass there. Let me try to help out UK Simmer 1 here. Okay, so let me go to my folder here. So I'll kind of bring this over where you can see it. This is obviously my Farm Sim 17 folder. These are my save games. Obviously all my mods are in my mods folder. I'm not going to, this save game I think is 5 for Pineco Farm, so I'm not going to go into that since the game is running. But here's my save game for Lawfolds. And so what I would recommend, and if you're not using the Bank of Heigenstadt, you're not going to have this here, but this is your career save game file here. And I would recommend that you download a free program called Notepad++, and that you do your editing with Notepad++. You can do it with just built-in Word or Notepad. And if you click on edit, it will open it up in Notepad and you can edit it, but it doesn't make a lot of sense that way. So I recommend using Notepad++. And if you open it up in Notepad++, and you will be able to see that here momentarily, you will see it all nice and neat and organized. And if you want to, if you want to clear out all of your grains and everything that might be in storage, that's where all this stuff is listed. You'll see everything in this career game XML. Well, actually, that's in the vehicles XML. So sorry. What I'm telling you here is about money. So if you go in and if you look for your money item, you can either add to this or delete from this or whatever. So again, this is Lawfolds, and I've got 128,000 in the bank on Lawfolds. So I would just edit this if I wanted to add or take away my money. But if you go into the vehicles XML file, and if we open that up in Notepad++, we'll see that if we scroll down, we'll see our items here, our silo items. Where are they? Are they near the bottom maybe? Let's see. are these items listed? Okay, yeah, wheat, soybean, sunflowers. You'll find all of these, and you'll find the amounts that are stored, and so you'll just edit that. And if you just want to, if you just want to put 0 by it, then that's basically how you get rid of those things. And it looks like my game is actually locked up on me. Hang on, stand by just a moment, folks. All right, we'll just have to end task that. Morning, Kim. Yeah, so my game hardly ever locks up, but it might have been because I opened those XML files while the game was running. So not a problem. Not a problem. It was worth it to be able to help you out. Where are we? Pine Cove Farm. Okay, so we'll go back in. And I've got autosave going, so hopefully we have been saving. But yeah, Parl 31 is right. Notepad++ makes it so much easier for editing because it puts everything into line items. And especially, like, for example, if you look at my my tutorial where I talked about adding the sounds to the handbrake mod, and it's basically Disco's video. Disco uses Notepad++, and if you put his video on one side of the screen and do everything together there, you can kind of see what numbers he's on, and so let's see, let me get this course loaded back up here. Field 4 mow. This is the 9-meter setup, and we will turn on 4-wheel drive. Getting cranked up here, nearest waypoint. Drive course. And I guess I didn't put this other tractor in my thing here, so let's do that right quick. Add him under group 2, like that. All right, so let me get going here again. I'll put my head back over in the chat where I can see what you guys are talking about. Yeah, we lost a little bit of time, but that's okay. Hey, it's fun doing all this. Okay, and we're off again. All right, so yeah, not a problem, Papas. I enjoy helping out. That's the reason why I do my channel. It's not YouTube is not my job. It's not my full-time career. I work in the IT field, and but I enjoy helping people. I enjoy sharing in the community, giving back. That's why these communities like Farm Sim and Flight Sim and these other hobby type communities are so strong. It's because people enjoy giving something back, and I certainly enjoy that. Let's see. Map overview have different Colliers. Not sure I understand what you're saying there, RCUK. No, I'm not on the Dude Ranch, Kim. This is my private or my personal game save that I do my Let's Plays from. And so basically, I was needing to do some off-camera stuff just to get things going for the next episode, and I decided to do a live stream just so I could hang out with you guys and answer some questions. And we've had lots of good chat in the conversation lots of good chat or conversation in the chat is what I'm trying to say. Like, get the words out, Jerry. And so yeah, but it's Pine Cove. It's just my personal Pine Cove save that I do my Let's Plays on. No problem, UK Simmer. I don't mind at all. I would rather have helped explain that to you the way I did it versus just, trying to stumble through it and say, go do this or go do that. I was pleased to be able to share that and show that with you. So not a problem at all. Hit that sub button if you are not already subscribed to the channel, and give me a like, and all will be good. Yeah, I am, Matt. I'm flying out tomorrow night, actually. Farmer Klein, did you turn on colorblind mode that changes the colors of stuff? Yeah, I did. So let me just pause here and I'll show you. Maybe it won't lock the game up, but yeah, I find it a little bit hard to distinguish between some of these shades, and so I turned on colorblind mode. And if you've not seen this yet, hopefully the game won't lock up again, but if it does, oh well. So if you turn off colorblind mode, which is by default, and then you go back and you look at your crop readiness, it's kind of hard to distinguish these shades of green, or at least it is for my eyes. And so so colorblind mode, if we turn that back on, it gives these hideous, ugly colors, but it's a little easier. And let me just save my game. It's just a little bit easier to distinguish the differences between the crops. So the yellows are a little easier for me to see and understand what they mean, and also are the blues. So that's why it looks a little different. I am constantly, my wife has like some navy blue socks and some black socks, and I'm constantly, when I do laundry, getting them mixed up because I really can't tell the difference between dark navy blue and black unless I'm in like a very bright lit room and I have something else to kind of contrast the colors with. If I can put it on a different color background, it's a little easier for me to distinguish it. Obviously, I can tell, I can tell red, yellow, and green, so I'm not colorblind from the sense of, driving. It's just I have a difficulty in distinguishing the colors. Yeah, I think this is, I think I'm playing this version of Pine Cove on medium. I think Law Folds might be on hard. I can't remember how I set that up. I've kind of gone back and forth on what I like to do, what I choose to do. Sometimes, some of the Let's Plays I've done, I've kind of stuck to medium just so that if anyone's new to the game, kind of wants to see what they could expect, they could see that. Yeah, hard is a little difficult. With Seasons mod, hard might really be a challenge just to get things going, but it's all on it's all what you want to do. Okay, Matt, we can do that. Yeah, I think I know I'm back on Thursday evening, and so yeah, so we can do something. I'm on, no, Parl, I'm not, well, I was on the final version that was supposed to be the final version, so I had intentionally held back on starting Pine Cove and through the early versions of the map, and so Stevie released this version and said, this is the final version, I'm done, and then I installed it, I got it all set up. I think I got like the first field or two planted, and then lo and behold, Stevie said, oh, there's going to be another version, and it's going to be the final version. So no, to answer your question, this is not the final version. This is the version before the final, and was just so far started with this map that I didn't think that the differences between the two were significant enough for me to start over, and they really weren't. And so this is the next to the last version, and it's my favorite, by the way. I've seen the new version. I installed it because we were going to put it on the Dude Ranch on our multiplayer server for 3 dudes, and I installed it. I've seen others play it. Mr. Moose is playing the new version of Stevie's map, and I'm just not impressed with it. You know, just the changes just weren't enough for me to say I'm going to start all over. The new barn and the yard, yeah, that is, I didn't like that either. Yep, not a problem, UK Simmer. I'm always happy to help, and if I'm not too busy, I do try to stream at least once on the weekends. And again, it's generally just this type of activity. I'm just kind of hanging out. I'm, you know, doing something that kind of needs to be done. You know, I've cut so much grass in my Let's Plays that I really don't want to subject my viewers to watching me mow grass, even though it's my favorite thing to do. But I needed to do this field because I needed the hay, and I sort of figured, okay, well, I've got about an hour or so, and I'll just put a live stream up. So I don't know if I'll get a chance to live stream tomorrow morning. I am flying out tomorrow afternoon for the Bay Area, for California, and so it just kind of depends on if I can get all my honeydew stuff done. And since I am flying, I probably won't make the PCSG live stream tonight. UK Simmer 1, well, that was probably the catalyst, that was probably the fuel that convinced his decision, but Stevie has a few other reasons for retiring, and part of that is health reasons. And so I think he has just worked so hard in putting out these maps, and he is so dedicated. He's probably the most dedicated map developer that I know of. I know that Bullet Bill and Oxygen David, I know those guys do excellent work. They really do. I don't really know them well enough to say, or to say one way or the other if I feel that they're as truly dedicated as Stevie is. But I've known Stevie for quite a while, and I have, I've talked with him on, like Facebook chat or in PCSG, and I live streamed his Black Rock Valley when he first released it for Farm Sim 15. So I've gotten to know him, and his dedication to his talent and his skill is second to none. And I think he's just worked so hard that I think he got mad because yes, the theft was the fuel that started this. Obviously, that's a big problem in this community, and it's something that I don't think will ever go away. But I think those of us that are responsible gamers, that truly love this hobby, that love the genre of agricultural-based simulation, can say and can basically refuse to, support these people, refuse to download their stuff, report the issues when we find them. And I have a personal hatred towards uploaded.net, and I pretty much don't download anything from their site, just because I hate the pop-ups. It's just a very scary website to go onto and download anything. But with regards to Stevie, yeah, you're absolutely right. He's going to be missed. But I think that, I'm not going to say, and he's not told me one way or the other, but I'm hoping that we've not seen the last of Stevie, that maybe after, he gets a handle on his health situation and, things change, that maybe he'll get the itch again and he will will return. You know, I mean, obviously, I think that when you see someone that does the type of work that he does, and clearly he is one of the best map developers out there, then he clearly has a passion for this game. You know, some of the other map developers out there, and I'm not going to single anyone out, but I heard that they don't even play Farm Sim very much. Now, Stevie mods because, or he became a map modder and a modder in general because he does this stuff for his own family use. And so obviously he plays this game, and so and he plays this game obviously, and he enjoys it. So hopefully we won't see the last of him. But yes, he will be dearly missed. But as I said at the top of the live stream, if you want to interact with Stevie, Stevie hangs out and does occasionally stop by PCSG. So please, if you guys are not familiar with PCSG, go and register for a free account. It's where all of Stevie's mods are going to live from now on. Stevie's Google Drive will basically expire in a month or so, and obviously all of his mods that are hosted on his Google Drive account will go away. We've got most of them already on PCSG, and we will be in the process of getting the rest of them. We have his permission to do so, and Stevie is also a member of PCSG. So if you guys are not, and you want to encourage, or you want to kind of stay in touch, and hopefully he'll continue to stay and grace us with his presence from time to time, go over there and join PCSG. Kim, that's actually a good point. I hope that maybe Cattle and Crops would bring him back into the modding scene, and you never know, maybe that will be the thing that will do it. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, Matt. You know, I've had some chats with him on Facebook since he announced his retirement, and I'm not going to divulge everything that he has told me, but you know, he's, for right now, at least what he told me a couple of days ago, you know, he's at least going to take a break. And you know, I don't even know if he knows if it's permanent or not. I think he wants to set that expectation with everyone, just so that no one thinks that, okay, well, maybe he will come back. I think that he wants it to sound like that he's out for good, because I think that's kind of what he's thinking. But if that changes, then obviously, you know, we're all going to be lucky for it. And it's funny because, you know, you're right, Matt. Bullet Bill and Oxygen David are excellent modders. I love the work that they do. Coldbar Park Farm is still one of my favorites. Bullet Bill did an awesome job with the version for 17. Unfortunately, my map save kind of got screwed up with the update from Giants, but, you know, oh well. But that will go down in history as being one of my favorite maps for both 15 and 17. And they do great UK maps. You know, Stevie is not American. Stevie lives in the UK, yet he focuses his interest on American style maps. I mean, everything back from Paradise Hills and Black Rock Valley, his version of Westbridge Hills that he did for Farm Sim 15, that's all based on, you know, those are American style maps that he did, and he lives in the UK. So it's great that he does that, because quite honestly, American style maps, while there were some for Farm Sim 15 like Oklahoma and States, Graceland, those were American style maps, but they were only a few, you know. And so for 17 there really hasn't been a whole lot. I mean, Oklahoma was released, but it's got problems. Rattlesnake Valley has some issues, and it's still kind of beta. So we just really don't have a lot of options for American style, big square fields, big, you know, flat type farming that we see here, because that's kind of the way that it is. Well, hello Ford, welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. if you're just new to the channel, Ford, welcome. And just doing a live stream. I do Let's Plays, but I needed to do some off-camera work, and I enjoy doing live streams and off-camera stuff and chatting and catching up with all my friends that stop by, like Doughboy2913 and Rubber Burner Gaming and Pharmer Klein, and all you guys are friends, and I enjoy hanging out with you guys. Good. Yeah, Stevie definitely watches our channels, and from time to time, and yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah, I'm looking at Lone Star, Pharmer Klein. Actually, I'm looking at potentially Lone Star replacing Pineco Farm, because I like Lone Star because, well, I'm a native Texan, so I'm kind of thinking that I've got to play that map. Yeah, grass work is my favorite thing to do, Ford. I love mowing grass. Mowing grass, tethering, raking. Insider info on seasons. What do you want to know? If it's the $1 million question, and if that question is when is Seasons mod going to be released, unfortunately I don't know. I will use my canned response, which is it'll be released when they get ready to release it. Unfortunately, that's all I can tell you. I can tell you that, you know, the progress that we've seen with the Seasons mod, and I bet that was your question, wasn't it, Kim? The progress that we've seen with the Seasons mod since I've been using it, and that's been, you know, several months ago, it is probably the most stable, and the amount of changes that they've been making to it have been sort of the most artistic, and, you know, really getting into the nuts and bolts of how it's going to affect the crops and the livestock and all that kind of stuff. So it's got to be getting close. But please don't you know, don't think that means tomorrow or next week or you know, next month, because I just don't know. I mean, they may run into a situation where something breaks because they are aggressive like that. They try to break the mod, they try to break the game. Not necessarily, they don't try to break our games, but in their own testing they try to test it so difficult and so to such a level that that they try to learn something from it. And so obviously they take that and they put that back into the mod, and then obviously we retest that. So the bugs are actually fairly minimal. I mean, I think I've got a bug that I found on wall folds, but I think it's because I took an update mid-save, and my winter crops, only one of my winter crops is got its head poking out. The wheat and the canola are still just showing as seeded. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, Pharmer Klein. I think it will definitely be 2017, because clearly, you know, I think they've put so much work and hard work and blood, sweat, and tears and everything in it that they're gonna want to release it this year. But just when is sort of anybody's guess. And sort of like I've said with cattle and crops, and I know you guys all agree that watch my channel on a regular basis, because you've told me this, that you agree with what I say, that we would rather have cattle and crops come out when it's ready to be released versus they release it when there's so many bugs and everything. That's exactly what the Seasons mod guys have said as well, is that they don't want to, I mean, they're going to support the mod, but they would much rather be answering questions about what does, you know, how does it affect this growth and that growth, versus answering questions about why is it breaking, why is it causing a conflict with this mod or that mod or whatever. So I think that's sort of the general idea, is that, you know, they are just really taking their time I mean, this thing, and I'm sure you guys can tell, if you're playing Farm Sim 17 on your own without the Seasons mod, and if you're watching my channel, then you know that it significantly affects the standard gameplay. Everything from your animals drink more water in the summertime. You can't. Your sheep don't produce wool in the wintertime. The way the grass deteriorates and vanishes. All those kind of things. You know, that it changes, and it's a pretty big change. It's a pretty drastic change from the default gameplay, and so yeah. So there is some other good information, and I think I might have talked about this in one of my episodes this last week, but I was watching Reefy1952. I was watching his channel, and he talked about that he had heard that Decker was starting to look at soil mod for Farm Sim 17 again, and that's going to be really, really cool. If we get soil mod and seasons mod, you're going to be almost feeling like a real life farmer without getting mud on your boots. So let's see what the chat's doing. Spoken like a true IT person. It will be ready when it's ready. Yeah, I have to. I get told that all the time about stuff that happens at my work. Yeah, and you know something, I mean, I enjoy mowing and all the grass work so much. That's one of the reasons why I planted this field with grass. Obviously, I sacrificed a fairly large field for nothing but grass, just simply because I enjoy all the grass work and everything so much that I thought it would be, cool to actually have a big, nice square field where I can do some course play stuff if I want to. You know, the picking up and carting of the grass, or obviously in this case going to be hay, is maybe my least favorite thing to do, so I will definitely be using course play with that. And but yeah, I enjoy the mowing, and I enjoy going to be mowing in Lawfolds again soon. I love that little patch of grass that they gave us in Lawfolds. Alright, we'll drop this down and head up this direction. Daryl Walker, do you know that Stevie has quit making mods for the public? Yeah, we've been talking about that quite a bit this morning. He's pretty much, I mean, he's retiring from modding pretty much altogether. And so, you know, I think he'll obviously still do some mod stuff for his own family, because that's kind of what got him started modding, was his own interest in the game. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Hopefully he'll get the bug and he'll come back, maybe with Cattle and Crops, or maybe later in Farm Sim 17. But yeah, it's a shame. He's one of the best. Yep, that is true, Parl. It is relatively small. And on this map, we're taking advantage of the silo storage that Stevie put on the map, so we're not doing any baling on this map. I wanted to kind of break things up, because we do baling on Lawfolds, and because obviously we don't have the ability to put grass and hay and such in silos on Lawfolds. But since Stevie gives us those opportunities here, I decided that we would do that and just sort of take advantage of that. So that's kind of what we're doing. We've cut this field once already and did it pretty much all grass, and that gave us over 1 million liters of grass. So I'm sort of expecting that we'll get quite a bit of hay out of this as well. Alright, so David McCoy, Stevie has posted he has decided to finish Cherry Hills. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm glad he's going to finish some of the stuff that he has in works, because that's good. And by the way, folks, I know that a lot of folks have just joined. Stevie's stuff will be available on PCSG. You'll find a link down below the video screen. And we've got quite a bit of his stuff already over there on PCSG. and more will be, everything else will be added. So once his Google Drive account expires, you'll be able to get all of Stevie's stuff on PCSG. We have our own servers, and we don't have ads, we don't have malware, we don't have any of those rude pop-ups and stuff like that. So it's a cool site to get your mods from. Plus there's other stuff. There's other stuff on PCSG other than just Stevie's stuff. Let's see. Good morning, new viewer here. I keep hearing about Cattle and Crops. Is that a new game or is that a mod for Farm Sim 17? Realm 174. It's a brand new agricultural based simulation game. I say it that way because obviously if I say Farm Sim, everyone thinks Giants. But it is a brand new. It's completely different. It's not by Giants. It's by a completely different team, and it's not out yet. It's not out yet, but it should be out for early access. Now, of course, this is those of us that did the let me lift this up because I don't want to make a mess of this. For those of us that did the crowdfund support, we get early access, and it was supposed to be available in March of 2017. So obviously March ended yesterday. They contacted all of us in late February and said that they needed an extension because they were committed to putting out a good quality early access preview game. And so hopefully that will be something that we'll get more news from them as time goes by. They did update us 2 days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, with the progress report, so everything's looking good, and I think everything is on track. Daryl Walker, I've really enjoyed your courseplay tutorials. Great work. Thanks. I appreciate that, Daryl. I'm glad that folks are getting information or getting some knowledge about that. So if you're new to courseplay, I've done a series of courseplay tutorials. More are on the way, and you'll check those out on my channel. One question, Parl31, one question about CNC. Is it true that the CP devs are working on it? Yeah, that is true. The courseplay development, at least one or more of those guys are part of, let me just do a save here because we're almost done with this field. They are working on, they are part of the development team, so yeah. And so are others as well. I think that Decker with Soil Mod, I think he was, I think he's helping them out as well. So it'll kind of be interesting to understand, and of course, courseplay, the early access, not courseplay, Cattle and Crops. Once Cattle and Crops comes out, the early access, obviously that's going to be a bit of a scaled down version of what the final game will be. There'll only be a few things that we can do, a few types of crops that we can harvest and plant and that sort of thing. But I'm kind of hoping that maybe, you know, some of these mods, some of these people that are working on working with the Cattle and Crops team, like the GPS mod, courseplay, these things will kind of be features that will be built into the game versus having them be external mods. But I don't know that for sure. It's just kind of speculation, I think, on my part to say that it might be kind of cool to have these be part of the game versus having them be an add-on mod. I've already pre-ordered the Big Bud DLC. I'm not a big fan of the Big Bud tractors. I kind of think they're ugly. And as you guys can see from watching my my previous episodes on Pine Cove, we've got big equipment, but I want to support Giants, and there's some of the other equipment that's part of that DLC pack that I think will be interesting to have. But I'm not a big fan of the Big Buds, and obviously the Big Bud, actually the 747, the big one, that mod's available for Farm Sim 17 anyway, so, but yeah, I'm gonna get it. I've already pre-ordered it. Farmer Klein says, based on the timeline from the other day, a lot of stuff was at MS1, and they said stuff at 70% could be playable at EA. Yeah, and actually there's only like 10 things that I think that still lack to come up to the 70%. So they've made good progress. I mean, they basically have done a good job with the extra time that they took in getting some of that stuff done. So, but I still don't know. I mean, will it be April? Will it be May? I don't know. I'm sure they're going to put it out as quickly as possible, just like the Seasons mod. It'll come out when it's ready. Yeah, the Coon DLC, I bought that as well. Obviously, you guys have probably seen some of the Coon DLC in my Let's Plays. I think the thing that I use the most of the Coon DLC is that square bell wrapper. And I hope that, I know that I think it's BM Modding that's working on the Coon, the big Coon round bell wrapper, and I keep hearing that that's soon to be released. So I love that thing in Farm Sim 15, that's for sure. No, I didn't, Matt. You know, if you've got a love for John Deere, it certainly does not show, bud. You guys check out Matthew Danner's channel, Doughboy2913. He's just up and coming, just starting out, and he's also doing a Let's Play on Pine Cove, and he's doing it a little bit different than I am. There are some similarities. He keeps stealing my employee Billy Bob to come and work for him, but I set Billy Bob down this morning and I said, look man, I said, we're going to have maybe a day and a half to get all these crops harvested. I said, you got to stop your moonlighting. And he is dedicated to working for me. So if you get anything out of Billy Bob, Matt, he's going to be tired. He's going to be tired because he is going to be working his rear end off for me. Well, thanks everyone for watching. 15 are in the channel, so I will just say, if you guys aren't subscribers, please hit that sub button. I would appreciate it. We just hit 500 subs overnight last night. Although I don't do this just for the subs, it is good motivation, and I appreciate you guys leaving subs and likes and all that stuff. I truly do. But as I've said, I do this for the enjoyment. I do it for the camaraderie. I've met so many great, wonderful people through my channel and through the forums and everything that I frequent. Both PCSG and 3 Dudes Gaming Network. If you guys have not checked those out, please do so and register and come over there and say hi to all of us. At PCSG, you'll meet guys like Reefy1952, who has a channel. Eustace Pharmer is over on PCSG, but he's also on 3 Dudes Gaming Network. TBF Gaming is on the 3 Dudes Gaming Network. Doughboy2913 is an official network member of the 3 Dudes Gaming Network. Lots of folks, lots of good folks. Thanks, Ford. I appreciate the sub. I really do. Matt, I don't know if you can post a link or not, but if you can, throw a link to your channel in the chat. If you guys, yeah, I don't think you can click on the names to get to their channels, but if you just search for Matthew Danner, D-A-N-N-E-R, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correct, you'll find his channel. But also, if you look down below, you'll find a link to his channel underneath the video, because as he's an official 3 Dudes Gaming Network member, I've got him on my list of friends there. So yeah, Matt's doing Pine Cove Farm. Matt, are you doing this version, or are you doing the newest version, the final version? I think you're doing this version, and you've modified it with putting some sheds in and doing some other customization, I think is what you're doing, but I could be wrong. Well, folks, I'm going to have to start wrapping things up here for this live stream. I've actually gone about 30 minutes longer than I had intentionally planned to, and I think it's just mainly been because you guys have been such good conversationalists, answering or asking some good questions and some good chat and everything. But I do need to get my day going. I am flying to California tomorrow night for business for the rest of the week, and I need to get some honeydew stuff done, and I need to eat lunch as well. The grizzly bear is hungry, and when the grizzly bear gets hungry, well, the grizzly bear gets kind of fussy, and well, you know how it goes. So I will just start saying thank you all so much for watching the live stream. I really appreciate all your friendship and everything. Many of you guys have been a part of my channel for a long time, and I read your comments, and I try to answer them, as all of them, or at least give you guys a thumbs up or a smiley face or something. So I appreciate that. I don't always get informed about comments, unfortunately. I think that's a YouTube thing, but I do appreciate you guys commenting and liking and all that good stuff. I appreciate getting to know you all and sharing this wonderful hobby with you, and just thank you for your friendship, and thanks for stopping by and keeping me company. And you guys go check out Matthew's channel, and he'll be doing a live stream later this evening, I believe. And sub, so you'll get notices when I go live again, and follow my Let's Plays and my how-tos and all that good stuff. And I thank you for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Take care now. Have a great Saturday and a great weekend. God bless you all. Bye-bye.